Yeah. The Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders opened, and as expected, it was absolutely insane. I think that's an understatement if you were trying to get a Switch 2 last night, or earlier today through GameStop. But it really goes to show that these retailers still haven't learned their lesson. Like, even though they've been doing pre-orders like this for so many years, like just the past couple decades, they still haven't learned their lesson. And I mean, I guess in the past decade, there have been more problems with scalpers, but they still haven't found an efficient way of trying to make these consoles available for most people who want them. But thankfully, I was able to get a Nintendo Switch 2 through Best Buy. I think I got really lucky since the pre-orders went out of stock like shortly after I was able to get mine. But I had a pretty crazy story with mine, and I've also heard plenty of other crazy stories from certain people, so I kind of wanted to discuss how these pre-orders went and just how chaotic everything is. But before we get started, I want to mention that I have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of Mario Kart World. But before the pre-orders opened, I was following some of the tips that, like, some people were giving about pre-orders. I made sure to log into all of my accounts, which I think is a good idea to do before pre-orders. Make sure you have all of your payment information in. And then I had multiple tabs open for, like, Best Buy and Target. Those were the two that I was kind of aiming to get a Switch 2 through. Thankfully, it worked out for Best Buy, but it got crazy for some of the others that I attempted for. I also, like, kept some, like, tabs on Wario 64 just to make sure, like, there were, like, any updates. Sometimes I switched between, like, Wario 64 and Nintendo on Blue Sky to just see which one was, like, more, like, updating ones first. So I was kind of checking that on my phone while trying to refresh the tabs for Best Buy and Target on my computer. But once midnight struck, things started to get extremely crazy. Best Buy wasn't up yet. It was still saying, like, coming soon on there, so it was a little delayed. So I tried Target, and I refreshed the page on Target, and it immediately said sold out, and I was like, are you actually kidding me? Like, did it really sell out within a couple seconds? But I feel like I kind of jumped to conclusions there, because it technically was open, but things were just really glitchy on the Target website. So I kept trying to add it to my cart, because it was, like, sort of working at that point. And it kept trying to add it to my cart. Sometimes it didn't work. Then I got it to work once. Then I tried to pay for it. I tried multiple times, but it kept showing an error when I was trying to purchase it. But then it actually did go through once. But a couple minutes later, it canceled my order. And I also got a fraud alert through my bank account as well. So it was really crazy there through Target. I don't know what was up with Target, but just everything was just glitching out so much. Like, it wasn't necessarily like the website that was crashing, though I'm sure that happened for some people. But when I was trying to actually purchase it or add it to my cart, it kept glitching out and sending me errors. And apparently that was happening for most people. And the thing where it canceled my order, where the order seemed like it went through, but it, like, canceled and refunded it, that also happened to a decent amount of people as well. But after Target, I went back to Best Buy, checked Best Buy again. At this point, it was around, like, 12:10, 12:15, and Eastern time. But it still wasn't up. I was like, what is going on with Best Buy? Why are they taking so long? So then I saw that Walmart was doing things a little better, since they had a line that you could get in. At that point, it was a little late. There were already a lot of people in line, so I wasn't sure that I would be able to get it. But I got in line anyway for Walmart. But there, I was running into a lot of issues. When it did, like, when I was every so often, or I think it was either when I tried to enter the line or, like, when I was actually picked to buy a system, I tried to, like, Walmart has this really weird verification thing where you have to press and hold this button to confirm that you're a human, but it just doesn't work. I'm not sure if any of you have done this or got this verification thing before, but when I tried to press and hold, it kept going, please try again. And it's so tedious and weird. You just press it down. It takes like 15 seconds, and then it just doesn't work. I don't know what was up with that. It just seemed like it was broken. And a lot of other people were having that problem too, since I was watching RGT85's video about pre-orders, and he had the exact same issue. So I don't know what was up with Walmart. Apparently, a decent amount of people were able to get their pre-orders through Walmart, but I was having some trouble with that. But then, I went back to Best Buy, yet again, and thankfully, I got really lucky, because this was like right before 12:30, which I think was the time that Best Buy pre-orders went up. So I kept refreshing Best Buy around that time. I wasn't even checking Wario 64 or Nintendo at that point. I just very luckily was able to refresh it once the pre-orders opened on Best Buy, and was able to, well, at first it said it was sold out, so I was like, no, not again. But that was another kind of fake out. So they did a thing where you could enter a line, and I immediately entered the line as soon as I was able to. And I was thinking about getting the bundle with Mario Kart World, but I was a little desperate at that point and started doing the regular version on Best Buy. But I was able to get into the line for that, and thankfully, only about 5 minutes later, I was able to like put in the verification for like my phone, and was able to purchase the system, which was really relieving. I did, like, while I was in line for the base Switch 2, I did get in line for the Mario Kart bundle, but I didn't want to risk waiting in line longer and not getting a system by deciding to get the Mario Kart 1 instead. I know that Mario Kart 1 is a better deal, but I just didn't want to risk not getting a Switch 2, because I feel like that's kind of important for this channel. I have some Best Buy gift cards anyway that I could buy Mario Kart World with, so it's not too big of an issue for me. So thankfully, I was able to get a Switch 2. But a lot of other people were having problems around that time as well. Apparently, some of the people who got into Best Buy's line a little later were waiting in line for upwards of 30 minutes or more. I was extremely lucky when I was able to refresh it and get into the line almost immediately, since I probably was one of the first people to do it, since I got it only like about 5 minutes later. Other people waited in line for quite a while, and some waited so long to the point where it sold out. And that was pretty unfortunate for a lot of people. Apparently, like, over like the next couple hours, there were like little waves of like more pre-orders through like Walmart and possibly Target. I'm not sure if there were any more for Target, but I know for Walmart, some people had some luck. But it was just absolutely insane. Like, the way that these retailers set it up to try to get a Switch 2 was just extremely chaotic. Like, either people trying to wait in line, if they got in line too late, they would have to wait like 30 minutes to an hour, or places like Target not even having a queue, and people trying to, like, failing to add it to their cart, and the website keeps glitching out. So it was extremely inefficient the way this was set up. And then there was also GameStop as well. Like, some people, like, waited in line. Some people had better luck in areas that were, like, kind of more rural. Like, Fawful the Great, for example, she was able to get a Switch 2 through GameStop. Some people had less luck and were in areas where people were camping outside of GameStop the night before, and it was much harder. I think you could also do in-store pre-orders through Best Buy as well, and some people got some luck with that as well. And then also, like, with GameStop on the website, apparently things were kind of weird as well. Like, it kept saying, like, out of stock, but people were still able to add it to their cart, and it was a whole other thing. I wasn't really keeping up with it at the time that the GameStop pre-orders dropped. But I heard it was kind of chaotic there as well. But yeah, this was absolutely insane. And if you weren't able to get a Nintendo Switch 2, there are always going to be more ways of getting it before it launches, or pre-ordering it before it launches. There's always still the way to get it through the My Nintendo store. You could still sign up for that and see if you will be selected on May 8th. Like, even though that does kind of seem unlikely, and it will be shipped on the day that it releases, so you won't get it until like a few days later. But if you really want to get a Switch 2 shortly after it launches, I still think that is a good option. And then you could also keep up with certain accounts that post updates, like Wario64, since sometimes pre-orders do get new waves and new stock comes in, but it's just at random times, so you want to have some notifications enabled to see if you're able to get like a Switch 2 like another day if they do any more waves of pre-orders. But yeah, it really just goes to show that these retailers haven't really changed over the past few years when it comes to handling these console pre-orders. Things were just as chaotic as they were for the Switch 1. And it's just kind of unfortunate. There still are like a ton of scalpers as well, like charging like a ton of money for the Switch 2 on eBay. Like I think people are charging like $700, $800 on there, which do not buy those. Do never buy those. I don't care how desperate you are to get a Nintendo Switch 2. And I don't care how much money you have. Do not support these scalpers. Do not buy these at all. Like, that is just like an actual scam. Never support scalpers. Scalpers are just scalpers are really, really bad. So don't buy from scalpers, please. Try to get a pre-order if you can. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!